As a high school student, I had no clue what I wanted to do with college. I never considered the possibility of becoming a PhD in chemistry. I am Jose Zavala. I am a fifth-year student at California State University, Fullerton, and I'm studying biochemistry. So I took a variety of courses to try to find what I was interested in. Eventually, I decided I really liked biochemistry. I started at Mount Centennial College, a community college nearby. I'm very hands-on. I like to do things while I'm learning. That really helps me on a deeper level understand what it is that's happening.
As we mark our centennial, AAC&U is really looking to the future. And we are trying to launch a new generation of the LEAP initiative that will enable us to ensure every single student gets the benefits of experiential, problem-based, public-spirited liberal education that will help them succeed in the future.
So this previous summer, I was actually at a research experience for undergraduates at Texas A&M University. I became interested in that because of the research that I'm doing here at Cal State Fullerton. I love my campus, but we don't have access to things like atomic force microscopy, which they did have out there in Texas. It really shows you that your perspective of the world is based on your physical existence. Let's work on the exercise that we're doing. Let's come up with like a good group problem.
The issue of preparing problem solvers for our future is really critical.
What does it look like it is right now?
The educational goals of LEAP, or Liberal Education, America's Promise, are really specifying the kinds of competencies that we want all college graduates to possess when they finish. The ability to problem solve, to think critically, to think creatively, to communicate, to be culturally competent, and work in a team. Things that will carry graduates into the future, no matter what that future is.
The way to do that is to have active learning environments where students have a very active experiential learning. Companies more and more are not interested in skills and knowledge, they're interested in lifelong learners that can grow with their companies, with the economy.
And will help us solve problems in our society, be able to work in a global environment, no matter what the discipline, no matter what the major.
You guys are ready? Action.
What'd your father do?
A brewer.
Oh.
Used to roastery beer. My name is Bobby Labita. I'm a fourth year here at Cal State Northridge, and I am studying cinema and television arts with an emphasis in screenwriting. Here's to the memory of your father. And I'm part of the Theater Guild.
That's why I'm here.
The cool thing here is you do a lot of projects that are designed to be outside of the class. What I'm doing for my year-long project is I'm doing a documentary about emotional eating and college students and how that impacts college students. Seeing how emotional eating has impacted my life and those around me. I want to shed some light on the problem. So that's a huge project that I'm working on outside of the class that I wouldn't have had the opportunity to have unless I went to Cal State Northridge.
It really has to be an institutional effort. Understanding what it is that we're trying to achieve with our students, what our students are trying to achieve. I think AAC&U is encouraging us to require that students have culminating experiences so that they can demonstrate that they have the skill set needed to do analysis, to do research, to think about problems as they affect the wider society.
Graduates that are ready to go to work and can demonstrate they can use knowledge and put knowledge to work and be successful are going to be successful in the economy. They're going to get a job, they're going to keep a job, and they're going to do well. They're going to get paid well, and they're going to get promoted. And so that's a very simple, fundamental argument.
Once I started doing those projects, I started to make connections with other people. I started to feel more confident, and I think those skills are transferable to any profession.
We're also talking about inclusive excellence. We are a minority-serving institution. We have a large number of students, and many of them are first generation. And we talk about cultivating talent. We want those students to have those same kinds of opportunities for excellence and learning.
Now that strikes a little chord with me because growing up, I'm a student of Mexican descendants. So my parents, I love them with all my heart, but they had a totally different world that they lived through. So they actually didn't know how to support me going through college. It wasn't, of course, until now that I realized that I could be something that my parents didn't know how to do.
My name is Abby Daniel. I'm a senior at the College of Wooster. I'm studying biochemistry and molecular biology. I'm looking at how soil bacterium breaks down a certain chemical. The nicotinic acid or vitamin B3 has a really similar chemical structure as a lot of toxic environmental contaminants. The idea is that by studying how it breaks down, we might be able to better understand how these toxic chemicals break down so that we can do environmental remediation.
The College of Wooster is a traditional residential liberal arts college. We have a particular take on liberal education, which is focused around developing our students' capacity for research, for not just consuming knowledge, but being producers of new knowledge. Every single student completes a year-long mentored research project. So the faculty has to take everybody who comes into a first-year class and make sure that they all have an equal access opportunity to work towards doing independent research in their senior year. It's an intellectual egalitarianism.
In the PCR gel, it's 583 base pairs, so about 0.5.
Each student creates a substantial thesis, a written document that shows the results of their year or more of study. And even though that's the tangible project, we tend to emphasize on the process that it took to get there.
Which of these bands tells you you've found the gene?
But that process itself allows the student to take risks and ask the questions that no one has asked before.
One of the things we know from the LEAP research is that mentored undergraduate research is a high-impact practice. It's one of those ways of going about liberal education that makes a transformative difference in students' lives.
There's so much self-discovery that happens in this type of education. And when a person, I think, is given the time and the space and the help and the support to do that self-discovery, they're really going to find something that they are going to be willing and happy and energetic and passionate to spend their life devoted to.
My name is Jenny Perez. I'm 20 years old. I was born in the Dominican Republic, and I came here when I was 9 years old. I didn't know any English at all, or anything, not even saying hi or bye. It takes me like 2 hours trip every day. And it's worth it because everything that I have learned here at La Guardia, it's just worth coming.
Our students come to us from about 160 different countries. They speak about 110 different languages. About half of the student body was not born in the United States. We really sit at the crux of the new American immigrant population and really hope to move forward and serve a new America.
I have this wonderful internship in Harlem Hospital. I'm in the OBGYN department as a patient coordinator.
¿Cómo estás, Omaira? ¿Cómo te sientes en el día de hoy? Bien, gracias.
Students need to have a comprehensive education that really exposes them to all the modes of thinking that are endemic to what should happen in a modern world.
Looking at the broad sweep of our data, we're increasingly convinced that a liberal education that takes place in the classroom and beyond is the key to helping students succeed.
Good morning, everybody. Today we'll be working on career goals and educational goals. I'm a student success mentor here at LaGuardia, and I help other students create their e-portfolio.
An e-portfolio is an online way to give a sort of sacred space for learning and reflection for these students that follows them throughout their entire trajectory here.
It changed my life. I saw myself growing as a person.
In my case, I always wanted to be a doctor, but I never really thought about, how. And the e-portfolio forces you to do that, to think about the step-by-step process. It's like a journal for you. You learn about yourself, you learn about how you learn, and that is pretty amazing.
If we do not embed in our curriculum and our structures the ability to have broad thinkers, we are reifying the inequity in our culture instead of changing it. So I think it's essential, particularly for me as a community college president and a community college advocate, to say these high-minded ideals, if you will, are not high-minded. They're relentlessly practical. They're absolutely what needs to happen. We cannot allow sectors of higher education to be segregated into those that do limited technical education and those that do broader liberal education. We have to marry those two.
I really want to see what else I can be good at in this world, not just one thing.
I'm Athena Cazurato. All right, should we cut a circle out of it or just keep the square?
We're gonna keep it a square.
Keep it a square, okay. And I'm a senior at WPI studying mechanical engineering. Perfect. I'm working with 2 other students and an advisor in a lab on campus to test out ice cream and learn about its viscoelastic properties. Is this a good one? Will it get too cold? Will it be too crystallized when it comes to your home freezer? Knowing the viscoelasticity in particular about ice cream is useful for food engineers wanting to know the best way to manufacture it and to ship it and to package it.
The senior year projects that most of our students do in their major actually come from companies. Our students are working with the employers from the time that they're here, learning to solve problems that the employers really care about. WPI was founded on the concept of theory and practice together. Our students are trained in real-world skills by executing projects that generate creative thinking and ethical action and impact in the world.
My interactive qualifying project, I was in Bangkok, Thailand for 2 months at the site of the Rayong oil spill. We wanted to see how the economy was impacted, how socially they were affected by the oil spill. The biggest challenge was overcoming the cultural differences. Americans can be more forward and direct. Thai people tend to be more indirect and reserved with their opinions. And so overcoming that kind of communication barrier took a while, but in the end we were able to feel more comfortable with each other. And then we produced a list of recommendations for Thailand to better respond to oil spills in the future.
The essence of our curriculum is providing students with the opportunity to solve authentic, real-world problems. Those real-world problems are inevitably messy and interdisciplinary. They involve technology, but they also involve people. We've found that giving students the opportunity and the responsibility to tackle those types of problems while they're students is enormously powerful and can be a transformative experience.
I am Tushar Narayan, and I'm a senior at WPI studying computer science. Having this experience during your undergraduate career where you're exposed to different styles of thinking and are actively encouraged to use them in solving problems sets you up for success in the real world as well.
When they talk about theory and practice, it's not rhetorical, it's actually real.
So that's our branding effort.
The approach that WPI takes really sets them up to operate in a global environment and to be part of our organization.
I'll be working starting June 2015 at a company in Silicon Valley.
Hey, Emily.
Hey.
I interned with them this past summer.
How are you?
I'm good. Come on in.
Thank you. And the last week before I left, we figured out all of the paperwork, so I should be good to go.
I've done everything from wind turbines to ice cream and oil spills, and I've interned at helicopter companies and healthcare software companies. I can work on teams, I can study anything you want to throw at me. I am excited by new topics, new ideas, new projects. And any student who attends a project-based institution will have this opportunity to learn about themselves and to learn about others and to learn about the world.
I'd known most of my life that I wanted to be an attorney. And then when I came to Michigan State, I had a professor sit me down and say, "Jo, you're amazing. Don't just settle on law school. You can do more." And had I just been pre-law, I would have never went to Madagascar. Madagascar is the largest biodiversity hotspot, but one of the poorest countries in the world. Development can happen if we do incorporate the voices of the people of these communities, because they know their communities, they know their environment, they know their people, and their voice and their opinions are equally important in this conversation. That was the experience that made me say, you know what, this is what I want to do. I'm Jaleesa Brooks. I'm studying political theory, constitutional democracy at Michigan State University.
Michigan State University is the original land-grant institution. We were really created as the template for a new kind of public education in the United States. An institution that would combine both liberal education with the practical education. And it's a mission we don't ever forget and that we work every day to live out.
I'm Mario Gutierrez. I come from a migrant family. I'm a first-generation Mexican-American, and I'm a senior at Michigan State University studying chemical engineering.
Higher education has always been very good at creating students with deep disciplinary knowledge, but we also really need to focus on their development of their professional abilities. From analytical thinking to effective communication to integrated reasoning to cultural understanding.
I became involved with the abroad programs to Sweden and Germany to study renewable technologies, and then to Mexico. I always thought that I was underprivileged, and then when I saw the circumstances in which some of the children in these orphanages live, and somehow they still manage to have a smile on their face, just really got me seeing how lucky I am to have so many doors open for me.
I feel more comfortable in my skin from seeing the rest of the world, and I know more about myself and my identity. I think that's what education should be. It's not just about gaining knowledge, but when you experience things, it's more tangible and it feels more real and it feels more applicable.
This is not about training people for a job. This is about preparing people for a lifetime of contribution in the workplace, in the community, and their families.
I want to dedicate my life to development, both domestically and abroad. Not that I'm gonna make the world a better place single-handedly, but that we all have a role in making our world a better place.
Our shared future really depends on our ensuring that every college student has the opportunity to do signature work. It's through these kinds of engaged learning experiences that they're going to become the problem solvers we need. That's why we have to meet this new LEAP challenge and not just educate some students with this kind of learning, but ensure that all students, no matter what their goals are, no matter what institution they go to, we have to ensure that they have these kinds of opportunities. Our future depends on it, and their future depends on it.